Have you ever wondered why you're able to read a word even if it's completely spelled wrong? Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and of course, avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, let me ask you that question again. Have you been able to read a word even if it was completely spelled wrong? Why do you think that is? Well, that's because of the context effect. That is because our minds like to look for patterns and connect the dots. That's why when you look behind me, you can read this word, the, and you can read this word, cat, even though the two letters in between are exactly the same, and it could actually be seen as an H or an A. Because we're able to connect the dots. We're able to look at the context of what this is and go, you know what, that's probably an H, therefore you're going to read it as an H. You look at the context of this and you see the C and you see the T and you go, you know what, it's probably an A. Even if it's completely written wrong or spelled incorrectly or something else completely replaces those letters. That's why if you read down here, can you guess what this word is? More likely than not, you could probably guess it's probably read, even if it's completely covered. And I've completely covered the middle, and you can still guess it's read because you see the R and you see the D. So that is the context effect. That is when the influence of the environment factors on one's perception of a stimulus. It affects our word recognition, it affects our ability to learn. It also affects our memories. Sometimes our memories are able to remember things better because of the context. We think of all the stuff around something and then we piece it together and go, oh yeah, I remember this aspect of that part. Or we remember this aspect of this part because of everything else around it. That's how we remember how to get to certain locations. We remember certain things around there and we piece it together and go, okay, that's where it is. That is the context effect. But it also affects our marketing ideas, it affects our advertising ideas, it also affects people's buying decisions. When things are done very cleverly and done very strategically, one can actually go, you know what, I can make it more memorable for people to think about us first and remember us when they want to buy that product. So for instance, there's lots of advertising out there that takes their logo and replaces certain letters of the word and just puts it in there so that you can still read the entire word, even if that logo does not represent anything about that letter that it replaced. But that's all branding, that's all marketing, that's all advertising. So another example of this being put into effect is this. Have you ever wondered why you're able to read certain words, even if the letters are not even there and replaced with numbers? So for instance, this. Now, if you give it just a few more moments, you're probably able to read the entire paragraph here. And again, that's because of context effect. That actually is a great way for you to come up with passwords for your computer and your login by replacing certain letters with numbers. And you're still able to read it because of the context effect. Now, I did mention that lots of companies out there, lots of logos out there, lots of advertising out there uses this effect to become more memorable because it makes it more clever for them to actually put their stuff out there. So for instance, when McDonald's came up with the pizza, they had this logo. Now, the thing is, their letter M has nothing to do with Z, but when you're looking at it, you can read pizza. And when you look at these logos here, very, very clever. Pause, the U is replaced with the pause button, but the pause button does not represent you at all if you take it out of the context. But because of the context, you can still read it. Same with umbrella, same with foot, and same with the number 8. Now, if you look at this more closely, the word 8 is actually created by a whole bunch of cut up 8s, which is very, very clever, which gives you that memorability of, hey, wow, look at that logo, it's so clever, but it's because of the context effect that makes you remember it. And that's how we can utilize the context effect to be more memorable to other people, to our audiences, and also to come up with creative ideas as to how we could get our messages out. So that is the context effect. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like Unlocking the Mind, we have a lot of other shows. The Make More Mind Bites, the Mastermind Bites, of course, the Peak Potential Success Show that's up every single week. So thank you very much for your likes, your support, and your subscriptions and your comments. I love seeing those comments. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. I'll see you later.